you, Erin. It's a real honor and privilege to be here. It's also been an honor and a privilege to lead the Grain Foods Foundation for the last 7 years. And that means for the last 7 years, I have been talking about grains nonstop. So I'm very excited today to not talk about grains, and instead I want to take you guys on a personal journey that I went on over the last 10 years. It is full of twists and turns. It is full of positives and negatives. It is full of surprises and other moments that totally met expectations. So if you will bear with me and go on that journey with me today, I would really appreciate it. So here we go. We are going to talk about when I joined a CSA about 10 years ago. But before we dive into that, let's talk about what a CSA is. CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. And how it works is that farmers come together, oftentimes forming a cooperative, and they offer a share to consumers. And so consumers can prepay for their produce, which allows them then for the consumer to know what they're going to be getting, and for the farmer then to be able to plan. There are many benefits from a CSA, and we're going to start with the first being environmental benefits. And so the CSAs are commonly embraced by consumers because it reduces the carbon footprint. Your produce is coming from a very local source, so shipping distances are short. They are often clustered, so they're serving a density of people as well. And then this idea of clean food. So oftentimes CSAs feature organic products, certainly seasonal products, and then by definition, local products as well. Additional benefits also incur to the farm and the community around it. Because the farmers have sold these shares in advance, they have money on the front side to make wiser, more planned investments. They can market their food prior to actually having to work those 16-hour days, which is also a huge benefit for them. The money also stays in the community. Remember, we're talking about local farmers and producers. So if you're looking to invest in your community, this feels like a really great way to do it because you have a face on your producer. And then you also get a chance for the farmer to connect with the community that they're also serving. These CSAs tend to be quite personal. You can visit the farms, they come to pick up places, to meet with their customers, etc. So it's a very community-oriented activity. And another class of benefits incur just to the consumer, and that is that the consumer knows that they're getting ultra fresh vegetables. I mean, these are truly seasonal productions. Also, they're getting exposure to new and different vegetables. Oftentimes, as Erin said, I'm a mother and a wife, and we all get in our ruts where you're fixing the same thing night after night. I don't know how many of you have Taco Tuesday, but it lives large in our house, and I might be getting tired of tacos with 10-year-olds and 7-year-olds running in my house. It's a lot. But anyway, this is an opportunity to diversify your palate, but also to save money. Remember, you've purchased the share at the beginning. You've prepaid for your produce. And so there is less waste. There is a quantity component that you get from your CSA that you're not going to necessarily get at the grocery store, which all translates into cost savings over the course of the cycle. And then the other benefit is the educational benefit. Your kids, you get to understand the growing process, especially if you're new to a region and might not be as familiar with the seasons. It's a great way to learn about your local production cycles. Now, a CSA might sound unusual to you, but they are not. They are actually quite popular. There's over 12,500 CSAs in activity today, and I think that's really important. The idea was actually imported to the United States from Europe and Japan. Largely, those got started out of food safety concerns, and so there's a lot of certainty around what you were getting. But the idea has grown from those concerns in the 1960s to today. Pardon me, wrong direction. Now, I told you it was going to get personal, and here we go. About 10 years ago, I had twins, and I adore them, but they rocked my world. And one morning, I had my daughter like, hey, Christine, I've got this great idea. I'm not having any of it, right? I'm like, sorry, I'm exhausted. I love you, Jess, but come on, help me out here. She's, no, seriously, just listen to me. She's like, there's this thing called a CSA, and she was like, if you'll split it with me, I will go down, I will pick it up, I will sort it, and then you get to have fresh tomatoes all summer long. And I was like, wait a minute, you're gonna bring fresh produce to my doorstep and all I have to do is write you a check. And remember, this is my life at this moment, all right? Like, I was desperate, absolutely desperate. She says, yes, that's what I'm gonna do for you. And I said, all right, you got it. Best neighbor ever, let's do this. Again, at that moment in time, this was not something where I was like, you know what, my family needs to diversify their diet, or having the thought of, I am concerned about the environment. No, this was purely practical, purely practical. And so off we went. Now, today we're going to talk about the various types of outcomes. I'm trying to organize it for you. So we have expected positive outcomes, unexpected positive, unexpected not so positive, and then the expected not so positive. And there's all of them. So let's start with the expected positive. So when Jess starts bringing me vegetables to my house, immediately we start learning all about new vegetables. I never knew there were so many varieties of cucumbers, never had a garlic scape. What is a ground cherry? Am I gonna like it? And I had no idea watermelon came in so many different colors. So there was a lot of learning that had to go on in our house. Now, with that learning, I will tell you my son still will not eat yellow watermelon. I don't care how tasty it is, not a fan. My daughter, to this day, still loves fresh peas. Total novelty for her. She loves them. And, you know, I included this photo here because there are really less glamorous moments where a CSA is awesome, right? Even when you just have to get food in front of them, you have the chance to put the blackberries there as well that are fresh and delicious. So, you know, it was a great opportunity to try new things, and it was there, existing in my fridge, so easily accessible. It obviously increased our consumption of fruits and vegetables as well. When they're in your fridge, you have a tendency to eat them. And that was great. Now, it didn't happen overnight where we were eating all of them. I have to be honest with you. I didn't know I could like beets. When we started out, I don't even know if I'd ever had a beet. I was a pretty picky eater, but on this journey and over 10 years of figuring out how to roast them, how to season them, what dishes to pair them with, we got there. And so it really has increased not only our overall vegetable and fruit consumption, but it's improved the variety of that consumption as well. Now, those are things if you don't have twins strapped to the front and the back of you, you might actually expect when you join a CSA, but there are also unexpected positives that come along as well. And the first is that when you're eating more fruits and vegetables, you're often eating other more healthy foods as well. And so I know I promised we weren't going to talk about grains, but we have to talk a little bit about them because my family loves grain foods and they pair awesome with fruits and vegetables. So whether it's my husband with the baguette sticking out of his backpack or my boys chomping on bread on the countertops, you know, it's something that is ubiquitous in our house, but we also notice it pairs with the fruits and the vegetables, and so those consumptions go up as well. Now, we are also better cooks. As Erin mentioned, I'm a minor foodie. There's so many people who love food so much more than me, but I love entertaining, and I have always loved entertaining. Having parties is one of my favorite things to do, and so if you're going to have a party, you have to learn how to cook. And so before I had children, I spent a lot of time mastering very specific dishes. With kids, that all has to change. And one of the things I found with the CSA is it made batch cooking so much easier for me. And so on a Sunday afternoon, I can put 3 different dishes on the stovetop, get it going, chock full of great foods, of course, but fruits and vegetables as well, and then we can eat off of that all week long. And so while it may not be a party per se, our daily food has improved in quality and is far more entertaining. So here's another picture because, you know, we live in the Instagram world where everyone posts pictures of their food. So just other dishes where you can see the fruits, the vegetables, mixing in with the beans, the rice, lentils, etc. We also are better hosts. So as I said, we enjoy entertaining, and this actually is a table that we sat in our backyard for my mother's rehearsal dinner a few years ago. And one of the things I enjoyed about the CSA was I was able to prepare side dishes that were excellent, largely because they were seasonal. I mean, thank you, Mom, for getting married in May, and the produce is great. But, it made it a lot easier. There wasn't a lot of thinking, and I could cater in the main dish, and it was easy and enjoyable, and I could focus on my family in that moment. But it also helps you entertain in all other kinds of circumstances. So whether your kids are bringing their friends over and you need to have a pizza party, your neighborhood is celebrating Halloween on the sidewalk, or your family is gathering for a meal. There's so many ways that your life gets easier when your fridge is stocked. And another unexpected but positive thing for us is that you get to model other healthy habits for your kids. So, as I told you, a CSA doesn't transform your child into a magical yellow watermelon eater, but they get to see you eating this diversity of foods, so they're not strange and foreign. So whenever they decide they want to try something new, they can have confidence that that's within the range of normal. The other thing is that the limited produce is actually empowering. So for example, we hosted a paella party this summer, and I made this platter out of produce that was all from our CSA. So grill a zucchini, pickle some beans, throw some blueberries on there, have some purple cauliflower. Yes, cauliflower comes in purple. These sorts of things made it really easy and really made planning for that party also very easy. And so I felt very empowered by actually having to not comb through hundreds and hundreds of recipes to put together the perfect menu. The perfect menu was actually already there. Now, we still enjoy the produce aisle. So as I told you, you pay for your share up front, but that doesn't mean you're never going to the produce aisle, okay? I have children. I have a son who still really only wants to eat broccoli every day. There's not another vegetable that he wants to eat. He wants to eat broccoli every day, and I'm sorry to admit this, but he also wants to dip it in ketchup. So we're still going to the produce aisle, and we're still shopping there, and we're still augmenting there. And that never goes away. So it's not like we give up our favorites either. Now, I mentioned that we were going to talk about the not so positive and unexpected. Personally, for me, this is the worst category, right? You want to know all the not so positive things that are going to happen. First is the planning and preparation burden. Remember, I was not at the top of my game when I decided to enroll in the CSA. I was not prepared for the prep, in large part because I hadn't had a lot of these vegetables in my house. So I didn't know how to store them. I didn't know how to clean them. I didn't know a lot of different things. And so I've learned that over time. Now, my CSA is great. I want to give a big shout out to the Lancaster Farm Fresh Co-op because they send me an email and tell me, okay, this is what you're getting in your share this week, and this is how you take care of it. And I think that is really helpful, but it's a learning. You're going to have to spend time reading the email, and then you're going to have to do it a couple of seasons before you really get the hang of it. Now, I love canning, and I didn't know that either until I had a CSA. So you are challenged to limit waste, and you have to figure out how you're going to do that. And for me, I've taken up canning. I have family who come in and help. It's a great day where we can a whole bunch of tomatoes. But you are going to have to work through that, and you have to give yourself time. It doesn't happen in the first week or two of having a CSA. Learning how to manage your food waste is something that takes probably 2 to 3 full cycles to fully understand how you're going to handle that. Now, I've also alluded to the fact that your kids don't magically transform into vegetable lovers. That just doesn't happen. So try as we might, there's an element of patience that has to go into it as well. Just make sure you and your partner really enjoy produce because at the end of the day, you're going to be the ones eating most of it, but you also get to have fun discovering what your kids do enjoy and what their thoughts are and how you should prepare it. And one of the other unexpected pieces is you don't typically answer the door with one baby strapped to your front and one to your back unless you really like that person. And Jess was that mother for me who just got me through those dark, dark days of I don't know what I'm doing. She was always there with a smile, a pat on the back, some advice, or no advice, just saying like it's gonna be okay. She's also clearly a problem solver, but when you share a CSA with someone, it doesn't prevent them from moving. So after going through about 2 cycles of the CSA with our neighbor, she did leave, and I miss her still every single day. But we continued our CSA journey, and I'm very thankful for her introducing that to us as a family. And now we get to talk very briefly about the things you expect to not be so positive, and that is the storage and the cleaning, all right? Every Thursday at 5:30, I have to go pick up my box of vegetables. It doesn't matter what else is on my agenda that day, whether it's soccer practice or work, like that has to get done, and it has to get dealt with on Thursday night. And that's tough sometimes with 2 working parents and 3 very active kids in the household, but you gotta do it, and you learn how to do it, and you learn how to do it quickly. So that is one thing you need to go in with your eyes wide open. Now, I love my CSA. I hope this has been a helpful conversation for you. And if you are interested in finding one in your neighborhood, USDA has an incredible website where you can link up with the CSA and just simply learn more about them. So that's been my journey. It's been 10 long years, but 10 wonderful years. And I'm very thankful for the experience, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.